Good afternoon. How are we? My name's Rob, and this is going to be a brief video. I say brief, I do go on a bit, on how I became an Ironman. It was on the 11th of September. I completed Ironman Wales.
Except that it's celebratory drink, so it's not. Rob Williams, you are an Ironman. Rob, well done. Congratulations. Paul Evans, you are an Ironman.
Oh yeah, so who am I? As I said, I'm Rob. I'm a married father of 3. I've got 6 grandkids. I know all of you, beautiful. So yeah, from Herefordshire, a little town called Leominster. Grew up about 15 miles away from here in a little village called Brampton Bryan. No one will know where that is. Anyway, and what made me do this crazy thing of undertaking training for an Ironman? Well, I still don't really understand, but there's something that's taken over me now, so we're in it. I suppose growing up, I was sporty from sort of 12, 13. Nothing really before, but when I hit 12, 13, sort of had a big growth spurt, grew into my body. Normal sports, so football, basketball, athletics were the ones I did. Did them all to reasonably good level, so county across them all. The 2 team sports were great. Individually athletics, I was no endurance person at all. I was jumps, sprints, hurdles. Yeah, all high impact. No, nothing endurance. I actively used to actually hide from anything endurance. Yeah, cross country. No, we used to have this thing at the high school I went to called a post run. We had to try and do these laps. I can't remember the laps. There's 14 posts in a lap, and then you just did score to get as far as you could, like 1 lap plus X amount of posts. Blah blah blah. Anyway, didn't used to like that at all. So unsure how I've suddenly gone from that to the spark came a few years back in order for me to think, oh no, I'm going to do a full Ironman. For those of you who know, is quite an undertaking. Obviously, if you're watching this, you'll know what an Ironman is. 2.4 mile swim, 112 miles on the bike, and then a little marathon at the end. So, yeah, I suppose coming up and through, really, football was the mainstay of my life. Played it all the way through. As soon as I left school, college, basketball stopped, athletics stopped. Not really mainstream, but football stayed mainstream. Carried on, reasonable success. I think 2005, I suffered lots of injuries over the years. Broken bones, ankles, arms, shoulders, yeah, collarbones, etc. 2005 was probably the worst one though, when I ruptured my ACL. I think at the time there was lots of operations, because they said it was partially torn. Do I need a full reconstruction? No, not yet. Do the strengthening work. Time elapsed, and it went on for far too long. I went into other injuries as well. So in the midst of all that, in 2007, I lost my finger. Accident at work, so that hampered my progress. So it was 2013 before I finally got my knee sorted, so I could really start doing proper exercise again. So yeah, really just started messing around with general exercise. Nothing really specific. Bit of running, bit of gym work, bit of classes, boot camps, etc., but nothing I was really interested in as such. And I think where the pathway really started for me to start looking at endurance was I did a 10k mud run up around the hills of Herefordshire, around East Newcastle. Really enjoyed it. It was more of a run than one of these obstacle course ones. And I thought I'd quite fancy doing the endurance part. What else can I do? That's when the first sort of multi-event thing I did was a aquathon. Presumed that because I used to be able to swim when I was younger, it'd be easy. But as you well know, if you don't treat the swim with respect, it comes back and bites you. And I did a 400-meter swim, and it was very painful. Yeah, swim one length of front crawl, one length of breaststroke. I thought, well, what am I doing? But anyway, got through it, and that's kind of where the pathway started. I joined Team Leisure, Tri Club. So yeah, met up with those guys. Started doing a few sessions. Over the next few years, then entered some sprint triathlons around the local area, which was really good. So started to get to know those. Wanted to start pushing myself, so entered an Olympic try. First open water swim. For those who've ever done only open water swimming, you have to treat that with a lot of respect too. And I didn't really at the time. I think I went for one swim beforehand in open water. So got absolutely steamrolled. People came over the top of me constantly for the first 100 meters, and it was just not a nice place to be in. With that, I also in the nerves beforehand forgot to, when people say lube your neck with your wetsuit, mine was absolutely red raw, bleeding everywhere. I had to hold onto the canoe for 5-10 minutes just for the chap to talk me down. Managed to complete the swim eventually though. I was definitely last out of the water, but I was that angry from my performance. I had a really good bike and really good run, so that was all. I can actually do something here. However, after that, I did a couple more sprints and nothing else really for a couple of years. Obviously, COVID came. Enjoyed COVID. Not enjoyed COVID. That's the wrong kind of word. But I mean, I enjoyed being at home and eating a lot and drinking a lot. So did balloon up quite a lot with regards to my weight. So then mid 2020, thought, well, God, put on loads of weight here, Rob. You need to sort yourself out. So that was at the point where I started doing the 5 a.m. club. Little thing, it's kind of, as you get into training, you have to put your own little sort of routines and rituals in place. So this was my routine and ritual. The 5 a.m. club was up at 4:30 every morning. 5 a.m. I'll be in the front room doing something, probably usually a hit of either 25-40 minutes, or go for a run or do X, Y, or Z. So that got me into routine. So I do something in the morning, something in the evening, just to get the weight off and get fit again. From there, I sort of put myself in for a marathon, which was going to be in April 2021. I thought, yeah, come on then, it's time to really push yourself. Let's do a marathon. So trained for it on my own, followed a bit of paper. Obviously then 2021, it got postponed in Newport, got moved to the October 2021. So I carried on my training, but probably not as intensely as I did until the April. But did it. So got around the marathon. Looking back where I am now and where I was then, I'm totally different fitness levels. So yeah, finished it. Lots of cramp the last sort of 6-7 miles. That was all down to nutrition, quite clearly from what I've learned over the last 12 months now. Yeah, you understand that. Marathon done. Where'd you progress to there? So back into the triathlon world, entered a 70.3. Fancied a bit of sunshine, so I went to Mallorca. So yeah, thought I'd combine the training, and then because I knew I was going to be doing a lot of training, and then afterwards me and my wife could have a nice week there afterwards. So that was brilliant. Went over there, did the race. Anyone has ever done an event abroad, it's a totally different experience. You've got a plan to get everything abroad first, which is a bit nerve-wracking when you've never done it before. Then you're a bit nervous when you get everything there, you get your bike there, and you've got to make sure you set it all up. But the actual events village was absolutely amazing. I think pretty much every Ironman village is pretty much bob on. But yeah, really good experience. The whole event itself was fantastic. Really loved it. Loved the swim. The bike was great. Brilliant course. Nice and flat. Massive hill in the middle. And then it's flat again. I think that was the first bit off tail end of the bike onto the run was where the heat and the nutrition, which I didn't get right, came back to bite me. So we had a few cramp issues in the first half of the half marathon, which really slowed me down by sort of 35 minutes. But we got there. So I had to hide under a tree for 10 minutes and take on a load of nutrition, get myself hydrated again. But at that point I was kind of, well, what do we do from here? Because I finished Ironman Mallorca. Yes, I was happy, but I wasn't quite happy enough. I needed to, always wanted to do the full, always wanted to do Ironman Wales. Sort of chatting with my wife, she could tell there was something burning inside me, and she said, I was trying not to be too brave and say, do you mind me disappearing for another 5 or 6 months while I train for Tembe? But then she made my mind up for me. She said, well, you've never been this fit before, you might as well maintain it, push yourself even harder and do it. So one night in Mallorca we did that. After a few gins and a few cocktails, we pressed enter and it was game on. So I had to quickly tell my coach, Mr. Ben Griffiths, Coach Blue, that I may have just entered Ironman Wales. You better sort my training plan out. So yeah, and then that was it. And this is where we get to. And this is the kind of next bit is my brief overview of how training went over that period of up until Mallorca, through Mallorca, and then leading up to Ironman Wales, which I completed on the 11th September. Not a spoiler, but there's a few videos kicking around before this. But yeah, really good. I hope you enjoy this little bit of a bio video. It's a bit of fun, and it's just something there to distract people when they're doing turbo rides, because that's all I used when I was training indoors for ages, just finding people's journeys and how they expressed how they felt. So yeah, hope you enjoy. This is us on the Ironman climb. It's safe to say when I was on my bike I was going faster than this. The quad bike hasn't got a lot of beans. But we're having a lovely time. Although a cyclist hasn't actually overtaken us yet, so that's quite positive. We've just about managed to take over some. We're right in the downhill, the uphill where we all went wrong. So 6 weeks from Tembe now. Big 4-week block started yesterday. So now we're pushing on through. We had what was I yesterday? Oh, ringer. Bit of a swim, then physio, my running repairs. They will fix my body. So loads of acupuncture on the hip, bottom of the back, and shoulder. So it feels looser, a bit sore. My arse cheeks hurting because I fell on that at work yesterday. Bruised my bum. But managed to get up, did our run this morning, steady in zone 2. Now just going to push on and do some 20-minute sets on the turbo for an hour and a half. So yeah, before we eat, sleep, rave, repeat again. Oh, it's Merry Sunday all. The day after 103 mile on the bike. We've got an endurance run to do now. Legs feel good apart from my bum / hip where I inadvertently had a kamikaze fall yesterday. So yeah, got a bit of a big bruise, gravel rash, but it's all right. So we're going to run from Leamps to Ludlow and then do a big loop around the Priors, Holton, Palace still on it. So yeah, and then Donna's going to drive to Ludlow, walk the dog, and I'll catch her at some point. So we'll go for some dinner. That's a much needed family time because I was a bit zonked yesterday. Not so much from the, well, obviously it's a big effort doing 103 mile, but the last 3 weeks have obviously just been very, very intense. I'm just knackered, absolutely knackered, just jaded from everything, lack of sleep. So yeah, it was just yesterday afternoon. I just was not useful for anything. Although I had 8 hours sleep last night, which is the first time I've had 8 hours sleep in I can't remember how long. So feeling a bit more energized this morning, a bit more ready to go. Plug the tunes in and start this trot to Ludlow. Peace and love. 3 weeks today, 8:15. I'll be pretty much in the water, out the water, trudging up that 1K. Absolutely splendid transition, ready to get on my bicycle. So 3 weeks today, Ironman Wales. I'm coming for you, boy. Merry Monday after the long weekend. Oh, he's not tired at all. Walking like a robot. Walking a bit like poor old Alfie. Love him. So this morning we've got a bad left foot, bad right calf, bad left hip, but that's from falling off my bike. So smashed all the training out through all the different stages. Now we're on to peak. No, we're not on peak, we're on taper. So normally I'd have done something this morning, nothing this morning apart from a bit of yoga, trying to stretch out my MDF muscles. That's what I feel like. No give. Is waiting for him to go ping. So yeah, take it nice and easy today. Good at work, I suppose. And then a swim tonight. See, Coach Blue has put me a lovely little swim session in tonight. And then tape will basically consist of reduced volume stuff, but one set thing a day. Biggest thing I'll do this week will be Thursday. I'll go back to Worcester and do the full distance swim again. It's nice and leisurely these days. I seem to like swimming all of a sudden. And then plan is go to Tenby next weekend and ride a loop of the bike with my mate John from down there, who I met in Mallorca, and do a bit of a brick for the run course. So get me into that, and that's 3 weeks away. Wallop. Will he be an Ironman in 3 weeks? I bloody hope so.
Say it to me. Down to it on a high. Thank you. Well done.
Oh.
I'm glad he seems happy with the sale, but it must be hard to see her magnificent animals leave for pastures new. I just hope she
Hurty! Merry Friday. So this is Friday before Ironman Wales. Maybe. So, obviously sad news. Yesterday, the passing of our glorious Queen. So, it's sad. However, overnight, the announcements, emails coming out that Ironman Wales might be postponed. Owing to understandable reasons, but so we're just waiting on Tenderhooks now to see what the crack is. Spent rest of the evening packing. Always fun getting your try stuff ready. Like a madman, check. So yeah, obviously sad times, but no, it's as I say, it's always a nervous time when you're getting ready for a big event anyway. But I've got the added thing of potentially we're waiting on Welsh Government, etc. in talks with Ironman, whether it goes ahead or not. We'll carry on regardless anyway. We'll go to Tenby, leave at about 8 o'clock this morning, get down there because, well, we've got a very nice and expensive Airbnb for the weekend, so worst case scenario, we get a lovely 4-night break. So yeah, let's wait and see what happens. Next vid will be in Tenby. I can see the sea, I can see the sea, I can see the sea. So we've landed. Haven't we, Dom?
We've landed. It better happen.
So, as I alluded to earlier, we've had a few excitable moments. We think it's going ahead now. We've had some unofficial words, so wait for the official word from Ironman. But we've got my bag registered. My wife's happy.
Drink time.
No drink. Just look at that sea. The bugger better sail out on Sunday. So yeah, the boys are coming. So see you later. Last day, we've registered, racked, been on the beach all day, on the famous zigzags. We're wandering up. It's now 6ish, wander back to the digs, get some food, try and get a bit of sleep in. Have you had a lovely day?
Absolutely.
Bit of Prosecco on the go for the girls.
Maybe a few gin and tin.
Few gin in the tins. The support crew of Griffo and Roy and Probe and everyone else. It's under the pushchair. Fed me like a king. So, yeah, we're carved up. Got a bit of a walk home, then we go carving up again. So, yeah. Ironman's real. So now we walk back. We go.
drink, so it's not. Rob Williams, you are an Ironman. We get the first champagne from you, Rob. Well done. Congratulations. Paul Evans, you are.
Hi again. So hopefully you enjoyed that bit of a blog insight into my training and how I got to the finish in Tenby. When I slayed the dragon. So yeah, just a brief overview of the race itself for those people who haven't done it. I think they described this year as probably one of the hardest weather conditions they've had. Tenby's unique, and definitely I think everyone I met and spoke to after the Tenby definitely gave us the full Tenby experience this year. The swim was interesting. We had strong tides, waves were big. I think the main experience on the beach when you walk through the T1 to the beach, it's amazing. You see everyone lined up at 5:30 in the morning. Getting to the beach, could see the waves, but I wasn't really paying much attention. You see on the videos the Welsh national anthem. Until you're actually there on that beach, you can't really appreciate how wonderful it is. Yeah, it was amazing, brought tears to my eye, definitely. Then old Thunderstruck starts, then your game on. The swim itself, as everyone would have seen who did 2022 this year, the sea was big, the waves, the swell, it was bloody hard going. First half a mile, I think pretty much everyone who entered questioned whether they could get through that. I spoke to a couple of pros even, and they said it was one of the hardest swims they've done. Hardest free swims. So yeah, definitely questioned whether I could do it in the first half a mile. Turned the first, I thought I made a pact with myself, I wasn't going to quit. Turned the first buoy, and then from the first buoy across to the lifeboat, we settled into it. Completed the first lap. Took on loads of seawater, so did feel ill. So yeah, Aussie exit. We looked at my watch, half decent time, just under 40 minutes, so I was fairly happy with that. Started giving me the confidence to go again. There were people stood there. I was watching people getting fished out as I was swimming around by the lifeboat, etc. There was people refusing to go back in on my second lap. They were stood there crying and floods of tears. Just no, can't go in, can't do it again. But we got the job done. We the run from up the zigzags. That's the thing with your pink bag. Don't forget your pink bag. To getting across town to T1 was brilliant. You the atmosphere is really buzzing then. You get a real feel for what it's going to be like. See your friends, family, celebrate the fact that you've got through the swim. The bike, which is normally my favourite part, was great. Felt sick for the first 2 hours after the swim though. I took on lots of water, so I couldn't really take a lot of couldn't take any electrolytes on really. I was struggling a bit, but got through that. Bike was fine. Out to angle, I felt rough, just feeling ill. Headwind started as soon as you started coming back. I think the whole thing was just a grind really. You'll see when you get to certain villages, can't remember where they are now, because it was all a bit of a blur. Wish I'd have ridden the course first. For anyone who's never done it before, I would suggest riding the course once, which I never did. I never got around to. I planned to, but things arose. The course was great. I did love it. It was a grind. 3 big show hills at Narberth, Saundersfoot and Wiseman's Bridge. Loved them. Loved the little sharp climbs. That's what I'm all about. Living around where I live. Yeah, we've got Clee Hill as a bit of a playground, so we're very lucky in that respect. The run, how do you describe the run? Half of it's around the town where everyone's been on the beers all day. It's really buzzing. And then half of it is going up that bloody hill. It's a grind. It's a grind, but it's worth it. You spend all your time looking for people's wrists to see what colour band they're on, to see how well they're doing. Because you've got your 4 colour wristbands before you can finish. So you're constantly going, what their colour they got? But the finish of Ironman, you want to hear the words. Rob Williams, you are an Ironman. Yeah, you can visit it so many times. It's, yeah, when it happens, it's surreal because you don't really take it in. As you'll see on the clips, I got shot with champagne from my support crew, from son-in-law Lewis. Yeah, good shot as well. A few of the ladies behind me weren't too happy about it, but never mind. I enjoyed my moment. But it was brilliant. It made it all part of the experience. Initially following the Ironman that night, I was going through the motions with the family. I was up all night being sick, and I had bad guts all night. I think it was because of the living off gels, energy bars, etc., etc. So yeah, my body was saying, "What have you done to me?" So yeah, it wasn't a great night following. So I didn't really sleep for a couple of days. But the adrenaline of getting to where I wanted to get to just took me through. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of the race. The race was amazing. I'd recommend it to anybody. It is the toughest in the world, as I say, because a few of my friends are doing Lanzarote in May, so they're going to compare it for me. Big thanks then to my coach, yeah, Ben Griff, Coach Blue. Started off as a guinea pig, one of his guinea pigs, and it's really elevated everything. So from going a lad who could jog a marathon, that was my initial thing, to where I am now, running constant, yeah, and everything's just improved tenfold. So big thanks to you, even though you didn't come and watch any of my races because you're too busy sending yourself. Although he's redeeming himself next year because we could well be doing one together. The supporters who came down, to Ryan, Soph, Sam, Meg, Proby, Leanne, Louis, Danielle, Ruth, Rog, Mum, Dad, all the kids. Obviously my grandson Hudson, my granddaughter Ziggy was there, little baby in arms, who I mentioned earlier in the video, and then she was there with my cap on. And then finally to my darling wife, long-suffering wife. Yeah, I think she, as we listen to it, we laugh and joke, but she does describe Ironman training as being broken up, which it is true, because you train more. I train in the morning, train in the evening, have a long ride on a Saturday morning, a long run on a Sunday morning. I'm not much use to anybody. So yeah, it is a tough one. She's been amazing. She is my rock. We've been together 24 years this year. Yeah, 24 years, got it right. So yeah, but I've never been this insane about training before, so she's been amazing. So big thank you to you, Donna, for letting me follow my dreams and try and push myself to the limits, because without you I wouldn't be able to do it. So yeah, I did promise her after I'd done Ironman Wales that I wouldn't do another full next year, which was the case until we got till the Ironman blues kicked in. And then yeah, my coach Blue, sent me a priority message to the priority entry, and then we've both somehow ended up entering Ironman Barcelona for next year. So yeah, if anyone's going on October the 1st next year, we'll be on the start line there. So yeah, it's been an amazing journey. We had our tri-club end of season 2 the other day, and I won most improved male athlete, so that was cool. Because pretty much coming from a standard start from 12 months ago to completing an Ironman, yeah, it's quite an achievement. So I'm very, very proud. I would recommend it to anybody. It's hard work. Takes lots of commitment, lots of drive, lots of effort. And to come from where I've come from to where I've got to, and there's still so much more I need to do in order to get better as well. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. I made the video just purely because during my training it was a good distraction to find things on YouTube, just to while away the hours. So yeah, hopefully you can have a watch, might be all right. So yeah, okay, so thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you soon.